Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. My name is Santosh and today we are going to have top 5 MCQs for the chapter batch costing. So in the previous class what we did, we discussed the top 5 MCQs of the unit and the output costing, right? So in this class we are going to talk about top 5 MCQs of the batch costing. So unit costing, batch costing, contract costing, job costing, these are the methods, different methods of costing, and the firm is going to decide which method they are going to use on the basis in on the basis of in which type of industry they are operating in, what is the nature of their business. Depending upon that nature, they are going to decide which method of costing is suitable for them, isn't it? So without delaying further, let's directly jump to the first question and let's try to comprehend this batch costing with the help of MCQs. So the first question says batch costing is a type of what? So before reading out the options now, let's have a brief understanding of the batch costing. Then we are going to read out the options. Then we are going to mark the correct option, right? So let's try to understand the batch costing with the help of an example. Suppose we have a tire company, MRF. So now we are MRF, you and we are MRF company. We produce tires as per the customer's need. तो अगर कस्टमर हमसे कहेगा कि हमें इस साइज का टायर चाहिए, क्योंकि हम टू व्हीलर प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, दैट कस्टमर is the two-wheeler company and they wants us to manufacture two-wheeler tires for them, then so we are going to accept their order and we are going to produce these tires and we are going to supply these tires to them. Now we have another customer, suppose we have Tata as well, and they want us to make the four-wheeler tire, though in the that too in the category of the SUV category and as well as for the sedan category. So they want us to make the tires for the sedan category and as well as for the SUV category. तो हमारे पास फिर से ऑर्डर्स हैं और हमारे पास फिर से डिपेंडिंग अपॉन दी कस्टमर्स नीड वी हैव दी ऑर्डर्स ऑफ डिफरेंट साइजेस फॉर दी स्कूटी और टू व्हीलर्स और फॉर दी बाइक्स, फॉर दी हैचबैक, सेडान एंड फॉर दी SUVs एज वेल. सो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है ना, हम कस्टमर की नीड के हिसाब से उनको जो है अपने गुड्स सप्लाई करेंगे, ठीक है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन देयर ऑर्डर. तो यहाँ पे ध्यान देने वाली बात यह है, अगर हम किसी एक कैटेगरी को पिक करें, मान लेते हैं स्कूटी की कैटेगरी को पिक करते हैं, स्कूटी की जो टायर का साइज है वो ये मान के चलते हैं और बाइक का ये आउटर सर्कल है. अभी हम स्कूटी की टायर को कंसिडर कर रहे हैं. अब हमें इसे प्रोड्यूस करना है, तो अब हम इसे क्या एक एक करके प्रोड्यूस करेंगे? नहीं, हम इसको चाहते हैं प्रोड्यूस करना बैचेज में. तो हमने मशीन सेट कर दी, मशीन सेटअप कॉस्ट हमने इनकर की. देन वी प्रोड्यूस these tires in batches and we fix the number of quantity in a single batch. तो हमने डिसाइड किया कि हमें क्या नंबर ऑफ क्वांटिटी लेनी है एक सिंगल बैच में, और हमने उस बैच ऑफ टायर्स को मैन्युफैक्चर कर दिया और अपने कस्टमर को सप्लाई कर दिया. तो बैच कॉस्टिंग वहाँ यूज होती है जहाँ पे हम बैचेस में प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे हम गुड्स को क्या कर रहे हैं, एक बैच में प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं या फिर कह लें बैचेस में प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. नॉट लाइक द जॉब कॉस्टिंग वी हैव सीन. सो जॉब कॉस्टिंग में क्या है, जस्ट लाइक वी हैव द इंटीरियर डेकोरेशन जॉब, इट्स अ जॉब कॉस्टिंग बिकॉज ईच कैटेगरी इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द अदर कैटेगरी इन द केस ऑफ जॉब कॉस्टिंग. अब मुझे अपने घर को डेकोरेट कराना है, मेरी डिमांड अलग है, ठीक है. आप लोगों को अपने घर को डेकोरेट कराना है, आपकी डिमांड अलग है. भले हम जिससे करवा रहे हैं काम वो पर्सन सेम है, लेकिन मेरी डिमांड अलग है, आपकी डिमांड अलग है. तो जॉब्स आर डिफरेंट ऑल टुगेदर, राइट. बट ऑन द अदर हैंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द बैच कॉस्टिंग के अंदर जो बैचेस में गुड्स यूनिट्स या गुड्स प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं वो सिमिलर हैं, वो आइडेंटिकल हैं. बात समझ में आती है? बैच कॉस्टिंग कहाँ यूज करते हैं और जॉब कॉस्टिंग कहाँ यूज करते हैं. यूनिट कॉस्टिंग के बारे में हम पिछले लेक्चर में पढ़ चुके हैं, जहाँ पे सिंगल वेराइटी ऑफ गुड है या फिर बहुत कम वेराइटी ऑफ गुड है. लेकिन बैच कॉस्टिंग में बहुत सारी वेराइटीज हैं, बट एक सिंगल टाइप ऑफ वेराइटी को हम बैचेस में ही प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. सो द क्वेश्चन सेज बैच कॉस्टिंग इज अ टाइप ऑफ व्हाट? प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग? नो, बिकॉज इन द प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग व्हाट हैपेंस, प्रोडक्ट gets manufactured by passing it through from a single process to another process, then another process, then another process. So it is getting passed through multiple processes. That's what your process costing is. In that type of industry, like we have the chemical industry, in those type of industries we use process costing, in which products are getting passed through multiple processes, right? So it is not a type of process costing. Now let's talk about job costing. Batch costing is a type of job costing. Yes, it is a type of job costing, and I have discussed with you all that why it is a type of job costing, right? Differential costing, no. Direct costing, no. Contract costing, no. So just like we have in the job costing now, similarly in the batch costing as well, we have diverse products, but in a single batch the products are identical or similar, right? Okay, let's move ahead with our second question of the day, that says batch costing is similar to that under job costing, but with the difference of what? So batch costing is different than that of job costing in what sense, right? Job becomes a cost unit in the batch costing? No. Batch becomes the cost unit instead of job? Yes. So please remember this difference. It is very important. In a job na, just like we have seen in the previous slide, for the interior decoration job, we have one house and we will cost it as job 1. We have house 2. Suppose your house is house 2. So it will be costed as job 2 for the interior decorator. So each job will be costed separately. So that's what job costing is. But in the batch costing, complete batch will be costed. It consists of number of units. So this batch becomes the cost unit in the batch costing, but as far as job costing is concerned, this job itself becomes the cost unit. That's the difference between job costing and batch costing when we talk about the cost unit. Okay, so batch becomes the cost unit in the batch costing and job becomes the cost unit in the job costing. Okay, process becomes a cost unit? No. Contract becomes a cost unit? No. None of the above. Okay, so the correct option here is option number B. Easy enough. Let's move ahead. Third question says economic batch quantity is that size of the batch of production where, see, first of all let's try to understand what is this EBQ, that is economic batch quantity. Then we are going to read out the options as well. So I have told you na ki we are going to produce the products in batches. So batches is going to have certain number of goods. So how we are going to decide which number is suitable for us? How to decide how many numbers should be there in a particular batch? What is the basis for that? See, we are MRF, we are a manufacturing company of tires. Yeah, suppose we are bakers, right? So how we are going to decide what should be the number of quantity in a particular batch? We are going to consider certain factors. And why we are considering certain factors? Because we have to minimize our cost to produce these goods in a batch. So we have to minimize our cost, and to minimize our cost we are going to consider two factors. First factor is machine setup cost. So each time we are taking a batch to produce, we have to set up our machine, isn't it? So each time we are setting up machine, we are incurring a cost. So first factor we need to take is machine setup cost. Second factor we need to take is inventory carrying cost, storage cost, because we have to store the inventories as well, na? So second factor we need to take care of is of carrying cost, or you can call it storage cost as well. So we have to take these two factors and we need to take that number in a particular batch or in batches. We need to take that number which is going to minimize our total cost of these two costs. So we have to minimize the total of these two costs. That's our purpose. Therefore, we are basically identifying or determining the number of items in a particular batch. I'll give you an example. Let's suppose we have a demand of 1000 units, and suppose we determine that we have to take 500 units in a single batch. To produce these 1000 units, we are going to take a single batch of 500 units, right? So in that sense, when we do that, we have to set up our machine 2 times. So we are going to incur setup cost 2 times. But when we do that now, we have to also store these 500 units in the inventory, isn't it? So when the machine is free or available, then only we can set up it now. So till then we have to store these 500 units in our inventory or in our warehouse, and we are going to incur cost on that, isn't it? So यहाँ पे ध्यान देने वाली बात यह है, अगर हम अपनी क्वांटिटीज को, बैच की क्वांटिटीज को इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं तो सेटअप कॉस्ट तो कम हो जाएगी, क्योंकि अब हमें सेटअप कम बार करना पड़ेगा, लेकिन जो हमारी कैरिंग कॉस्ट है, जो स्टोर करने की कॉस्ट है, वो बढ़ जाएगी. सो दे आर इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल, इजंट इट? तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, अगर हम 100 यूनिट्स का बैच लेते हैं, इस केस में हमारा सेटअप कॉस्ट तो बढ़ जाएगा, क्योंकि हमें अब 10 टाइम्स मशीन को सेट करना पड़ेगा हर बैच को प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए, इजंट इट? क्योंकि एक बैच में अगर 100 प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं, हमें 1000 करने हैं, तो हमें कितने बार सेटअप करनी पड़ेगी मशीन? 10 टाइम्स, इजंट इट? बट हमारी जो होल्डिंग कॉस्ट है, जो हमारी स्टोरेज कॉस्ट है और जो हमारी कैरिंग कॉस्ट है, वो कम हो जाएगी, क्योंकि हमें सिर्फ 100 यूनिट ही स्टोर करनी पड़ेगी, इजंट इट? तो यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं कि कैरिंग कॉस्ट और हमारा जो मशीन सेटअप कॉस्ट है वो इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल है. अगर हम एक को कम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, दूसरा बढ़ जा रहा है, दूसरे कम करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं तो पहला बढ़ जा रहा है. तो इसीलिए इसकी एनालिसिस ज़रूरी है. हमें ऐसा नंबर लेना है इस बैच में जिससे कि टोटल इनका मिनिमम हो सके. समझ में आई बात? चमका कि हम क्यों कर रहे हैं इतनी मेहनत? इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हमें वो नंबर चाहिए जिसमें the total or the sum of these two costs will be minimized. ठीक है? And how we are going to do that? How we are going to find out that magical number which is going to give the minimum cost to us? We are going to do that by using this formula. EBQ is square root of 2A, that is annual demand, machine setup cost, you can call it S, and carrying cost divided by C. Right? So this is the formula we have to use. Right? Now the question says economic batch quantity is that size of the batch of the production where average cost is minimum. No, setup cost of a machine is minimum. This is partially correct. It looks correct, but it is only partially correct. So I highlight this one. C option says carrying cost is minimum. This is also partially correct. Ordering cost, it doesn't even matter for the economic batch quantity. It matters for the economic order quantity, not for the economic batch quantity. E option says total of carrying cost and ordering cost is minimum. Yes, it is correct. So we have to minimize the total of the carrying cost as well as of ordering cost. Right? So option number E is your correct answer here. Now let's move to the fourth question of the day. That says monthly demand of a product is 500 units. So we have been given the monthly demand and you have to convert this into annual demand by multiplying it with 12. 12,560. Yes, so 6,000 unit is your monthly demand. Okay, annual demand. Setting up cost per batch is your 60 rupees. Okay. Now your cost of manufacturing per unit is rupees 20 and rate of interest is given to you. So directly carrying cost is not given to you, but you have been given the rate of interest and also the cost of manufacturing per unit. So carrying cost will be based on this only. Okay, so 10% of 2 is 10% of 20 is rupees 2. Simply 1 by 10 I have done. So carrying cost is rupees 2. Now you have to put these quantities in the formula, and the formula I have already given you, that EBQ is square root of 2 and we have A, we have S, we have C. It will be what? 2 6,000 into setting up cost is 60, carrying cost is rupees 2. This will be cancelled, 3040. So it will be 20 into 6 is 2 times. So when we get it to the outside of square root, it becomes single 6. So 600 unit will be your answer. So option number E is your correct answer here. Very easy question, nothing very technical here. Only you need to know the formula. You just need to put the values and rest everything is very easy. Okay. Let's move to the, this is the formula. Let's move to the fifth question of the day, and you have to evaluate yourself as well in each and every question, and you have to give marks out of 5. How many marks you have got in the comment section, plus we have the homework question as well, and you have to give the answer of the homework question as well. So we will see homework question in next slide. First, let's focus on the fifth question that says batch costing is a method of accumulating cost for each batch of similar products produced. Each individual unit produced, this is not right. The entire production period, no. A service industry, no. So the correct option here is very easy, option number A. So I have already discussed this thing with you, that in each batch we have the similar product, right? So the option number A is correct. Now let's talk about the homework question. You have to give me the answer of this question in the comment section. Compared to job costing, batch costing is generally more suitable for what? Low volume diverse products, high volume identical or similar products, service industries with intangible outputs, both A and C, none of the above. So let me know in the comment section what is your answer. So this is very important question. So if you want to basically understand this question, try to do this question with the help of example I have given you, right? And you will be able to do this easily, right? So this was the last question we have in our today's session. We are going to meet in the next session with the top 5 MCQs of the next chapter. So tab tak ke liye thank you, tata, bye bye, take care.